Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Fabrizio Romano, Tom Heaton will undergo a medical and sign as a new MUFC player in the next weeks. The deal has been completed. Tom Heaton has agreed a 2-year contract with Man United. There's also an option of a further year. So Tom Heaton's going to be our first signing of the summer. Tom Heaton not so long ago said his goodbyes to Aston Villa. Tom Heaton got released by Aston Villa. It got confirmed on their official website. Tom Heaton did reject a new contract offer from Aston Villa. His current contract at Villa, I think, was set to expire very, very soon. Tom Heaton used to be at Manchester United. He came up our academy. We've got him on a free transfer, so we haven't paid any fee, which is also good from a Man United perspective. Now, will Cristiano Ronaldo make a sensational return to Manchester United? Now, reports from Italy recently said a Cristiano Ronaldo and Pogba swap deal could happen. Now, The Athletic said not so long ago that Solskjaer remains in touch with Cristiano Ronaldo, and Man United have been in talks with Cristiano Ronaldo over a sensational return. We've already contacted Cristiano Ronaldo's agent over a return this summer. Says Juventus will accept around £26 million. Cristiano Ronaldo's partners come out and said that Ronaldo is staying. I presume the vast majority of Manchester United fans would take Cristiano Ronaldo back, despite him being the age of 36, because Ronaldo is one of the best players in the world. He's been at Juventus for 3 years. He scored 101 goals in 133 appearances. His current contract at Juventus expires next year. Juventus paid £100 million for him from Real Madrid back in 2018. Ronaldo has won 5 Ballon d'Ors. He's won 32 major trophies in his playing career. Don't forget, we did have Ronaldo for 6 years. We had him from between 2003 to 2009. With us, he won 3 Premier League titles. He won the Champions League. He won the FA Cup. He won the League Cup, and he won the FIFA Club World Cup. We paid just £12 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in 2003. Sold him to Real Madrid for £80 million in 2009. He endured like 9 or 10 years with Real Madrid. Paul Pogba, I said if he leaves Man United this summer, he will go back to Juventus, because he did endure 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Manchester United. Swap deals have been high on the agenda. Real Madrid have also been linked with Pogba, PSG have been in for him, and Barcelona have been in for him. So he's had a long-running transfer saga. Paul Pogba's current contract expires next year because don't forget we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Now earlier on this year it said that Man United were prepared to offer Paul Pogba a new £400,000 a week contract. But he said he was demanding £500,000 a week. He said we will sell Pogba though if he doesn't sign a new contract. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say that he wants Paul Pogba to stay and sign a new contract. I think we're demanding from between 55 million to 60 million for Pogba. The Express said not so long ago that Pogba intends to stay at Man United beyond this season. Matthias Pogba, who is Paul Pogba's brother, he wants Paul Pogba to join Barcelona. We've been getting the best out of Pogba in recent months. Don't forget, last season he scored the key winners against AC Milan and Fulham in the Premier League. He brings creativity to the team. At one point he was out with a thigh injury for a while. I think it was the first part of last season. He had an ankle injury as well, season before last. So he sustained a few injuries at Man United. He's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him, and Pogba's now endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined. Mino Raiola has obviously been desperate to get his client out of the football club. Did a lot of talking last season. He once came out and said that he doesn't give a fuck if he doesn't take another player to Man United, as long as his clients are happy. He also criticised Sir Alex Ferguson for forcing Pogba out of the club when he was younger. It's another thing he said. And he also said he's got no intentions of destabilising his client's season. He said he was working quietly on Paul Pogba's transfer to avoid offence because Mino Raiola doesn't have a good relationship with Man United and he's being criticised a lot. And back in December last year, he made an announcement regarding Paul Pogba, and Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Now, I want to give you a bit more news on Jaden Sancho. So, Man United already have 2 Jaden Sancho transfer agreements. So it's an internal agreement and the other one is personal terms. Borussia Dortmund will accept £80 million for Jaden Sancho. Jaden Sancho wants his future resolved before the start of the Euros. Jaden Sancho has Man United transfer hopes because Borussia Dortmund are looking for replacements. I think they want Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea as a replacement for Sancho. Not so long ago, Borussia Dortmund told Jaden Sancho that he can leave the club this summer, and Solskjaer made Sancho a transfer priority. Sky Sports recently said that Man United remain in talks with Jaden Sancho's representatives and Man United is the most realistic destination for Sancho. Borussia Dortmund did confirm that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Sancho that will allow him to leave Dortmund this summer. And the Manchester Evening News said that Sancho is pushing for a transfer out of Dortmund. And at one point it said we could use Jesse Lingard to buy Sancho. Last summer he was our number 1 priority target. I thought we was going to get him last summer because Sancho to Man United was extremely close. The personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and a contract had been agreed. But the reason we didn't get him is because we was reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. But the reasons I'd take Sancho at Man United is because he'd fit our team perfectly. He would assure us goals. He's really good at creating chances. He would exceed expectations in the Premier League. And he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. They do talk to each other a lot. But Sancho expects to complete a move to Man United this summer. Earlier on today, I gave you the news on Declan Rice, didn't I, from West Ham. Man United are set to make a transfer bid for Rice to test West Ham's resolve. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants 4 new signings in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. I'm very sceptical we'll win a title under Ole. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. But if we can recruit well in the summer transfer window, you know, we've got a chance of challenging for the Premier League title next season. As you all know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been given a 150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. Obviously, that transfer budget will increase when we sell players. Our board have said they will back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings despite the Europa League final loss. I was very, very gutted when we lost that Europa League final. You know, if we'd have won that Europa League final, Solskjaer would have got his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. But we didn't win it, and obviously another trophyless season for Man United. You know, we haven't won a trophy now for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Some Man United fans are demanding Ole out, reflecting on that Europa League final loss against Villarreal, but I presume there's still some Man United fans that are Ole in, and they believe that he needs more time at the club. Next season is going to be massive for Solskjaer, and I think he is aware of that, because next season he's got to exceed expectations if he is to remain Man United manager. You know, if we start next season off badly, then I think the pressure will be back on him. You know, Solskjaer has now endured 2 full seasons at Man United. And he's been in charge of Man United for 29 months, so he's been with us now over 2 years. The summer transfer window, though, is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Man United in general. It's very imperative that he gets the players he wants to recommend in, because he hasn't been backed enough so far. And, you know, so far, Ole's endured 4 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. But he should now get the backing he deserves, you know, reflecting on what the board have said. And plus we've got John Murtaugh, he's our director of football. We've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. And we've also got Matt Judge. And Matt Judge has been part of the club for a long time. Like I say, I am expecting outgoings in the summer transfer window. I think the players that need to go, like I've already gone through with you, I think De Gea needs to go, because I reckon now De Gea has had his years at Manchester United. De Gea has endured 10 years at the club, so he's been a long servant. I reckon De Gea's had around 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us, because in the last couple of years he's made calamitous mistakes, and reflecting on that, he has become a liability. But a few years ago, he was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. You know, he's won everything domestically at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances in all competitions. De Gea's obviously now our second choice keeper, but for a long time, he was our first choice goalkeeper. To De Gea's credit, though, he did well at the second part of last season. He produced his best performances after the Everton collapse in February. And plus, he responded well to Dean Henderson getting the number 1 jersey. De Gea put a very good performance out against Roma in the Europa League semi-final. But he did cost us the Europa League final because he missed the penalty. Plus, he had 11 chances to save a penalty and he didn't save one. And he should have saved at least 1 or 2 of them. Man United are preparing to offer David De Gea as part of a swap deal for Jan Black from Atletico Madrid. You know, to solve our number 1 crisis. Jan Black is valued at £70 million. He's got a contract with Atletico Madrid until 2023. He has a buyout clause of around €120 million. That equates to around £100 million in pounds sterling. And he's been at Atletico Madrid around 7 years now. But at one point it said that De Gea had made his transfer decision, he's preparing to leave Man United, and it said that Man United will pay off his huge contract. De Gea's on £375,000 a week, and I think he's got like 2 years left on his current contract. But I said there's a very good chance he'll go back to Spain. I think we should also offload Sergio Romero. He doesn't get in our team. You know, the vast majority of his appearances have come in the cup games. We got Romero on a 3 from San Pandora back in 2015. We brought him in the Louis van Gaal era. Romero's been with us 6 years now. Offload Lee Grant. I recall Lee Grant making 1 appearance. That was against Astana a few years ago. And he's 37, 38 years of age now. We did get Lee Grant, didn't we, on a 3 from Stoke. Phil Jones, I think we need to also offload him. Doesn't get in our team, always been inconsistent, and he's been out of injury for a while. Phil Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Being a long servant, he's endured 10 years at Man United. We did get Phil Jones from Blackburn Rovers. Brandon Williams, like I've said, we need to loan him out so he can gain more experience and he can get a lot more opportunities, because Williams seldom plays for us. He's our 3rd choice left back. Don't forget, at the start of last season, we give him that number 33 shirt. Diego Dalot, we need to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with AC Milan at the moment. Matic, I think we also need to offload him because he's not one of our first choice midfielders. Donny van der Beek, I think we need to offload him. Not to have him being a bad player, it's just that he doesn't get enough starts at Man United. He only started, 4 league games last season. Most of his appearances have come from the bench. He said not so long ago that we will reject any offers for Donny van der Beek. So reflecting on that, we are reluctant to let him go. Apparently Solskjaer's got big plans for him. Andres Pereira, I think we're looking to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with Lazio at the moment. I think we also need to offload Juan Mata. I'm expecting Juan Mata to leave. And Anthony Martial, I think we also need to get rid of him because he's no longer good enough to represent the club, and Martial has been out with a knee injury for a while. But I've got to credit Solskjaer, because I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done. I think he's our best manager since Ferguson. You know, Solskjaer, when he got appointed in as Man United manager, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood. And he's still inheriting some deadwood now, because he's still deadwood at the club. All he knew when he'd taken over at Man United, it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. There's a lot of things I've got to credit him for. You know, in his second full season, you know, got us to the Europa League final. You know, didn't win it, but he still got us to the final. That was his first major final as Man United manager. He got us a second place finish. That's not an achievement, but you can see progress was made from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season. He also got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. We went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League, so that's a record. Ollie did well in his first full season, got us a third place finish and guided us to 3 semi-finals. Yeah, he has made good signings as Manchester United manager so far. He's spent almost £300 million. You know, he hasn't got all the players that he wanted to recommend him, but he still brought some good players in. You know, he's brought the likes of Daniel James in. He brought Wan-Bissaka in. He brought Harry Maguire in. He also brought Bruno Fernandes in, and he brought Odin Igalo in on loan. And also brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, and Mad Diallo Traore in for Gundo Palestri. Palestri and Odin Igalo have obviously gone. You know, Palestri's out on loan and we'll let Igalo go in January. And Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. And I also like the way he has promoted the youth. So yeah, they're a lot of the positives regarding Ole. Like I said, I do have my concerns about him. You know, one of my biggest concerns about Ole is his decision making. Because in a lot of his games, he's been tactically naive. And he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. But that doesn't mean he can't succeed as Manchester United manager. You know, we did appoint Ole in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We're given the job permanently back in March 2019, reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. Obviously, Woodward, he said at one point he believes Solskjaer's the right man to lead the club forward, and he released a statement saying that the progress by Solskjaer and the players is clear. He said that last season. Obviously, Woodward standing down at the end of the year, because it did get announced earlier on this year that Woodward resigned as Manchester United vice chairman. Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. So who would be our new chairman to replace him? Obviously, we've been trying to get the Glazers out not so long ago. A lot of our fans were protesting at Old Trafford against the Glazers. Got to get the Glazers out because they've put us in so much debt. And in general, I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. The Glazers have been at Man United 16 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. You know, the Glazers were planning to ditch the Champions League for the European Super League. Joe Glazer will be attending the Fans Forum on the 4th of June. Not so long ago, Joe Glazer wrote a letter to Man United fans, and Avram Glazer, don't forget, refused to apologise over the European Super League. At the beginning of May, Solskjaer did reveal that the Glazers apologised to him. He says the violent incidents went too far, but he says the club need to take notice of the fans, because you can understand the fans' frustration. Said at one point, though, the Glazers could be forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. So we've got to recommend new owners in to replace them. So yeah. But in the last 8 years, nothing's really changed at Manchester United, has it? You know, it's just been an ongoing cycle of inconsistency. You know, we have sat 3 managers since Ferguson. That was Moyes, Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. And only had different managers with different philosophies. You know, we spent over £1 billion in the last 8 years on players. Brought around 37 players in since Ferguson retired. We've overpaid for players in recent years. And in general, our recruitment has been poor. And in the last 8 years, mistakes have been made. That's why we've been nowhere near as consistent as we'd like to have been. So anyway guys, there'll be another video coming up later. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.